Throughout gaming history, one of the most popular competitive genres has been the first-person shooter. From Halo to Call of Duty, TF2 to Overwatch, CSGO to Valorant to PUBG and beyond, there are arena shooters, tactical shooters, hero shooters, battle royales, and so many more. If you can name it, there probably exists a thriving competitive scene for it. However, some of the oldest shooters, which were the backbone of esports back in the 90s and early 2000s, have fallen out of favor in the modern era. Arena shooters like Unreal Tournament and Quake paved the way for the current age of esports, but unfortunately are nowhere near as popular as they used to be. However, there's one game that is aiming to bring arena shooters back into the mainstream. What started as a school project between two comp sci majors at Stanford has slowly built up a dedicated community and has taken off as its own esport. Featuring rock-solid, smooth gunplay, redolent of Halo, and incorporating portals straight out of Aperture Laboratories, this game is still in beta, but already has an esports circuit worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The question is, will it be able to compete with other titans of the industry, especially with Halo itself making a grand return? Well, we're going to find out. This is Splitgate. Splitgate was developed by 1047 Games, a company that was co-founded by Ian Prue and Nicholas Bagamian, who started their work on the game as a school project while studying computer science at Stanford University. At times, Splitgate can feel like Frankenstein's monster, a game stitched together from bits and pieces of other games. And that's no accident. Splitgate wears its inspirations on its sleeve, and Prue himself has cited games like Fortnite and Rocket League as being, quote, easy to learn, difficult to master, and has transposed that design philosophy onto Splitgate. He says, quote, it's very simple, where you can run and have fun with it. In order to master it, it's going to take you hundreds and hundreds of hours. That is our unique selling point. And the two games that are the biggest inspiration for Splitgate are Halo and Portal. Just by looking at the weapons, we can already see the similarities to the former. We have the assault rifle, shotgun, and rocket launcher, which are all pretty standard guns for shooters, but we also have the battle rifle, which is one of the most iconic weapons in the Halo franchise, and which shares a pretty similar gun model in Splitgate, as well as the BFB, which is similar to the energy sword or gravity hammer as a one-hit melee weapon with a big lunge. The gameplay itself is also similar, with players having rechargeable shields, no slide mechanics, jumping physics pretty much identical to Halo, and game modes like SWAT, which is literally from Halo. But that isn't to say that Splitgate is just a Halo clone. Sure, it draws a lot of inspiration, but it also takes the existing first-person shooter formula and expands on it in new and inventive ways. And that brings us to the second game emulated by Splitgate, Portal. I'm sure most of you have played Portal at some point, but basically, a portal is a wormhole through which you can teleport from one place to another, and vice versa. Prue felt like the portal mechanic had been underutilized in modern shooters and wanted to integrate it into the FPS genre. So while Splitgate shares many similarities to Halo, it was built around the use of portals, giving it a completely unique spin. As a player, you can have two portals active at any given time, which you can close with the press of a button and use in several different ways. You can go through them like a normal portal and teleport to another part of the map. You can look through them to peek around corners that would otherwise be shrouded in mystery, and you can even shoot through them to catch enemies off guard. It's an incredibly unique mechanic which elevates the game's skill ceiling exponentially, opening up avenues for competition, esports, and even the dark arts of trickshotting. Prue himself said, quote, Splitgate, in general, is a constant highlight reel, and it lends itself well to trickshots, esports, streaming. There's so many cool things you can do in the game. It's clear that Prue wants Splitgate to be accessible for everyone. While Splitgate didn't immediately establish an esports scene on release, there were small tournaments run by the developers themselves for one simple reason. They knew it was something the community wanted. Along with that, there was an early glimpse into the potential of Splitgate as an esport, as Twitch featured the game for one of its Twitch Rivals events. During the event, which featured the likes of XQC and Dr. Disrespect, viewership peaked at 89,000 viewers. Not bad. Splitgate was officially released on Steam on May 24th, 2019 as a free-to-play early access game to an average player base of around 5,000 players. But pretty quickly, the player base dropped into the hundreds and never went back up for 2 whole years. But things completely changed on July 27, 2021, when the game released on consoles, leading to 600,000 downloads in the first week. Alongside the success on console, the Steam player base also shot back up to an average of 36,000 players in the following month. While the success was great, the servers were ill-equipped to deal with the sudden surge in players, leading to 90+ minutes of queue time just to get into a single match. In response, the decision was made to keep the game in early access as the developers tried to improve the server issue, and on August 18th, Prue announced that the game would remain in open beta indefinitely, adding, quote, "In looking at the issues facing the scalability of the game's backend, the process includes far more than simply dealing with server capacity. We are focused on keeping the game stable for fans and iterating on the game's concurrent capacity in order to minimize player wait times. We want to do this the right way, and we want to be prepared for massive scale when we officially launch, all the while continuing to improve the beta with frequent updates, additional features, and improvements to server capacity." And despite all the server issues, the game was a smash success, initially earning a 91% very positive rating on Steam. But among all the feedback from players and reviewers alike, there was one common sentiment that everyone seemed to agree on. The game felt a heck of a lot like Halo. Polygon even said that Splitgate is, quote, "the best Halo game since Halo Reach." High praise, but not necessarily what you want to hear if your goal is to make it as your own game. But like we said, this wasn't an accident. Time and time again, Prue cited the Halo franchise as a source of huge inspiration, even saying that for him, Halo 2 was the game that took gaming from, quote, "a hobby to a passion and an addiction." But the Halo comparisons weren't all good news, as a little game called Halo Infinite was set to release just a few months after Splitgate's console debut. The question was, how would the Halo Portal Mutant baby fare against the return of one of the greatest franchises in gaming history? Surprisingly, Prue and his team weren't worried at all, and actually believed that Halo's release would be beneficial for Splitgate, saying in an interview, quote, "I honestly think that, in the long run, Halo Infinite and Splitgate will help each other. I think that there's just so much noise and so many battle royales right now, and these two games are bringing people over to the arena shooter genre. You know, there's a lot of kids who have never played Halo, right? There's a lot of kids who have never played Quake or Unreal Tournament. They've never played this kind of game, and getting them exposure to that, I think, is just a good thing for the genre as a whole." As it turns out, Prue was correct. Since Halo is an Xbox and PC exclusive title, its release actually bumped Splitgate's player count on PlayStation. On top of this, while Splitgate is certainly similar to Halo, its portal mechanic is doing a lot to distinguish it as its own game. Unfortunately for 1047 Games and Splitgate, while their success has been amazing, they're nowhere near as big as Microsoft and Halo, and lack the resources of big, established corporations. But so far, that hasn't stopped them from growing, and nowhere is this more evident than in the game's budding esports scene. Like Prue said, Splitgate was made for esports. Its core gameplay is rock solid, but thanks to the portal mechanics, it has tons of potential for insane plays and creative tactics. All Splitgate needed was a chance to shine on the main stage, and that chance would finally come on October 11th, 2021. With the help of a sponsorship from Astro Gaming, the Splitgate Pro Series launch season was announced. The launch season of the Pro Series consisted of 6 open qualifiers, each featuring a $5,000 prize pool and a final tournament with a prize pool of $60,000. In all, the inaugural season would put up more than $100,000 in prize money, a substantial amount for a game still in open beta. Overall, the first season of the Pro Series was a solid start for the game's competitive scene. The team WGL dominated the entire season, coming second at only one event while winning everything else, and the Pro Series finale hit a peak of 27,000 viewers. Going into the new year, and with more time to properly flesh out the scene, 1047 Games has announced their plans for the Pro Series heading into the 2022 season. The 8 teams featured in the first season's finals would form the initial league roster, and a relegation tournament and challenger series would be featured alongside the main circuit. While Splitgate's esports scene is still a long ways away from reaching the same level as Overwatch or League of Legends, its growth in such a short amount of time is still impressive, especially with Astro being their only big-name sponsor. Hopefully, as they continue to grow, the Pro Series will see more companies providing sponsorships to support the growth of Splitgate as an esport. For now though, Splitgate remains underground. Taking esports back to its roots with Halo-like gunplay isn't going to be easy, But like Prue said, there are tons of kids out there who never played Unreal Tournament, or Quake, or even Halo 2 and 3. Maybe, with the help of unique mechanics like portals, the arena shooter genre will come back into the mainstream. And when it does, Splitgate will be ready. Thanks for watching. What do you think about Splitgate? Is it just a ripoff of Halo and Portal? Or does it do something unique? Something no one else has ever done before? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive thank you to everyone on this list, and shout out to Jason, B, Brendan, QB, Foxy, Mauve, Pachanas, Sierra, Shampoo, Spartacus, and Yashichi for being platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Steven, Noodles, and Marco for being diamond supporters. Thanks for sticking with us. Check us out on Instagram, link in the description. If you want to support our channel and get info on unreleased videos, check out our Patreon. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Jonah, thanks for watching.